There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the Name. Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You're watching Casino is the Name, and many of you may not know it, but I am an accountant, and of course, I get engaged in this conversation about investing quite often. And here recently, I was at a family function, and there was a lady there, and she was talking about investing. She's much older, and she was saying that she was late to learning about investing, and she's made money with her own business and things like that throughout the years, but she didn't think to invest, or she didn't know anything about investing, and so she's kind of late to the party now as far as investing in mutual funds and 401ks and IRAs and things like that. So she says she's trying to play catch up, but man, if she had started 20, 30 years ago, she'd been in a much, much better position. But she says that she is telling a lot of her friends and things like that about investing. And so she asked me, since I was an accountant, what is my philosophy on investing? And I guess I thought that it might have may make an interesting video. So my philosophy on investing, because I listened to this whole group of people talk about investing from their standpoint. And I am a huge believer of investing in me. So yes, I invest with index funds, and I buy stocks and things like that, you know. But if I had to choose, there was a moment where I was looking at some stocks, and I was thinking about how much money I was making from, say, a particular stock, right? As a matter of fact, I'm going to use this right here. I'm going to use my financial calculator, okay? Now, the power of compound interest is amazing. You can't take away from it. That's why I still do invest, right, for the long term. But I'm looking at my compound interest calculator, right? So let's type in $100, okay? I'm gonna type in $100, and I'm gonna say over the course of a year, 12 months, $100 at a 12%, which is, I mean, first of all, right now, nobody's getting 12%, really. All right. So let's just say 12%, if you average 12%, which is a fairly decent return on your money, right? But you put up $100 and you make a 12% return. I'm gonna hit calculate. Now this said it was compounding daily. The interest on that $100 at at a 12% interest rate for 12 months over for a year, that $100 turns into $112.75. Okay, so if you subtract what you initially invested, you profited $12.75 for that year that you had to wait. Now, the way I'm set up, once I realized this, like, because, oh, sorry, get calls, you know. But let me just tell them. So anyway, so when I realized, of course, we all kind of know that when we buy stocks, index funds, we're really buying parts of businesses. But when I really sat and analyzed the return on investment and the amount of money, like, is that a livable amount of money? You need a lot of money in there before you could, like, live off that, right? So I started thinking, okay, so if I'm getting a 12% return on my money, right? How much money do I need to put up to, say, make 100,000? Let's just say 50,000. If you were gonna make $50,000 a year profit on a 12% return, how much money would that be? Because this only made $12. All right, so I said, okay, uh, what about $100,000? If I had $100,000 in there and I was getting a 12% return, then So if I would have to save $100,000 to make, guess how much on a 12% return is $12,747. That's how much me sitting $100,000 is would be, right? So to make 50,000, let's see what 400,000 looks like. And you would remember you would have to make enough money and save enough money to have 400,000 sitting in an account to make 50,000 in interest, $50,989. In order to make $50,989, you would need to put $400,000 in this account. All right? That's a lot of money to just, you have to get up to 400,000 with everything that you have going on in life, rent, mortgage, daycare, clothes, food, gas, car notes. Like with everything, you would have to be able to put that $400,000 up to make $50,000 in profit. Now, it's still $50,000 that you didn't have to work for, but you have to put that 400,000 up, right? So how could small investing get me to a $400,000 mark if I'm only making $12 a year off of $100 every $100 that I invest? It's not a lot of money, right? So do I believe in investing for the long term? Absolutely, because compound interest is going to be crazy. I'm going to have 5, 6, maybe $10 million in my account, in my, my index fund when it's all said and done. Hopefully more, actually, probably more. But I know I'm set to hit 5 to 6 million based off of, what the numbers should be. But regardless of that, it's great to invest for the 30 years, right? But if I want to live a certain kind of life, or if I want to maximize my return on investment, is me, and let me explain this too. Part of the reason for this is because you're investing in someone else's business. When you buy stocks, you buy Apple stocks, you buy Google, somebody else already created that business. There are already CEOs and execs and presidents who are making a lot more money off of Google than you are. But you get to share in ownership and well, you're sharing in ownership, but really just sharing in profits. You have no real control or whatever they do for the daily, whatever. But you are sharing in profits, right? And so because they're sharing with so many people, your profit is so small that, you may be getting 3% of what you invested back per year, if you're lucky. If you're lucky, okay? I believe in investing in the largest companies when I'm going to invest because I believe in investing in people and infrastructure, okay? If you have if there's a business that has a great profit margin, but it's poorly ran, people don't know enough about business, they eventually more likely they're gonna lose, right? But if you have an okay business or a business that's not that crazy profitable, but there's a really, really good team, that team has a better chance of survival even with like a lower profit margin, just because these people are smart, right? Or they may be able to figure some things out. If tough times come, they know how to adapt, they know how to pivot. So I believe in investing in the largest companies. So I invest in the S&P 500 primarily. Now, I'm also just always investing for the long term. I'm not really investing for today or next week or anything. I'm investing for 30, 40 years. I'm investing for my kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worrying about me. I'm good. I live good. You know what I'm saying? All right. So when I'm investing, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about down the road. It's going to be millions in there. But for the right now, right? And I said, dang, if I'm going to get $12 for every $100 that I spend, if I invested in me, right, in my business or in my education or in something, right? Let's say you take that same $100 and you buy a real estate course that teaches you you buy the license, you get in real estate school or whatever. I know it's an online one for like $75 or whatever. But let's say you get in an online real estate school, you get your real estate license. Let's say you take $1,000, you're gonna put $1,000 in stocks, or you're gonna take $1,000 and put it into you, right? And you get your real estate license or something like that. Let's just say real estate license. You get your real estate license inside of that $1,000, right? You sell your first house, and let's say your first house was, and I'm not a real estate agent, so I'm not exactly sure what their percentages are. I think it's like 1.5%. But let's say you sell a, houses are expensive right now. I just saw an average 2,000 something, 2,600 square foot house in East Atlanta going for 420, right? So let's say that house is $420,000, and you sell one of those $420,000 houses at that profit would have been at least 6,300 from that one house if you got, yeah, that's, yeah. So if you got that house, right? Yeah. So if you got that, if you got that 1.5% from that, that would have been at least 6,300. It's like it's a situation where you spent $1,000 and you made 6 times that, right? That's 6x from one sale, right? Now, if you can sell 2 houses a month, you could be making $12,000 a month. You spent 1,000 one time, okay? And yeah, you're gonna have to renew, and you might have to buy some, some clothes to go with you. But that was all within that $1,000, right? But you'll be able to make way more money than investing in their business, right? So I switched my model from, which I still, of course, I invest in the S&P 500 or in index funds, but that's because, first of all, I need to do it because I have to reduce my taxable income from my W-2, so I have to reduce my taxable income. So I dump like 20,000 over there, right? Just to reduce my taxes per year. I dump like $20,000 over there. But guess what? Guess what's happened? So one is I started a new business. Um, I'm trying to go bullish on government contracting. That's where I want to be. That's my area. I'm headed to it. I'm gonna be a big government contractor. Mark my words. All right. So I'm gonna be doing government contracting. I've already decided this is my path. I've looked at almost everything. This is where I'm headed. All right. It's either that or a hedge fund. All right. So I figured out my path. This is where I'm headed. And so I'm doing government contracting, and we made like 2,400 in like 3 days. Right. 3 days of work, we made 2,400. And it was like just off of like nothing. I mean, I spent out of my pocket, I had to spend, I think I spent $50. Yes, I spent $50 on QuickBooks, and that was it. Okay, I made 2,400. I spent $50 on QuickBooks for the month, right? It's every month I spend $50 on QuickBooks, but my first contract is I think it's like a $63,000 contract or so. So, and of course it's extra income. I also outsource to someone else, my brother, for him to do the work or whatever. So we're both profiting from that contract. But it was just like, man, like imagine if I had to put, what would I have to put into stocks to make a profit of 63,000? Because remember this, well, I ain't gonna say a profit of 63,000, because let's say the QuickBooks costs things like that. Let's say I'm paying him everything. Let's say I walk away with like 15,000 for the year, right? I walk away with 15,000 for the year, and that's also paying him like 40 some thousand, because I don't want to even deal with anything, right? So I'm paying for convenience, all right? So I walk away with 15,000. How much money would I have to have invested in a stock or 401k or something to make that 15,000 off of a 12% average annual interest rate? Now, reason I'm saying 12%, no, I'm not trying to say if I'm not a day trader, I can't make more money. Of course, yes. I'm just talking about investing from the general standpoint of how everybody mainly invests. Even people who day trade and maybe they, I don't know what they're working with, but I'm just saying from what I know about just traditional people who are not watching stocks every day, trying to figure it out and all that, like trying to be day traders and stuff, and just investing for the long term. How much money would I have to put in order to just be passively living off of that amount of money, or making enough money to live off of, or not even to live off of, but if I had to use that money, how much money do I have to have up front to put in order to make that money back? Started with $50, made $2,400, my own business, right? So, so it's numerous types of things like that, that you could be doing, whether or not you're a cameraman, whether or not you wash cars, whatever it is, you can make a lot of money. With that extra money, my extra money though, I don't, if I can't put it back into myself because maybe I don't have time to do something or learn something new or whatever because I'm actively working, then I'll invest it there, or I'll put it into my house or my rental property or something like that. I've spent a lot of money here recently on my rental property, a lot. All right, a lot. So, but I'd rather do that than to put the money in the stock, And let me tell you the reason why. I'm gonna read it to you right now. I think it's on this phone. Is it on this phone? Let me see. So today, because we had this conversation this past weekend where I was telling them, well, of course, I'm putting $20,000 a year into my, into my index fund, but that's because I'm trying to reduce my taxable income. But let me see if it's on here. Let me see. So I want to be able to tell you guys. All right, there it is, right there. So speaking on that, the fact that I'm putting so much money in the S&P 500, my S&P 500 account from January 1st to June 10th is down 3.88%. So I didn't go to 12%. Oh no, I didn't get 12% return. I'm negative 3.88% right now. So I'm losing money. I mean, it's gonna come back, I'm sure of it, I'm investing pretty smart. It's just down right now. But I'm not making any money. Imagine if you went to work, imagine if I was expecting to live off of this money, right? Imagine if you went to work and you spent, instead of getting a paycheck, you got a negative check. And you're expected to pay your bills and do those things, right? So it's like, okay, that's basically what this is. I have a negative 3%, 3.88%. I gotta go back and see how much I got in this account, but I have less money than I'm supposed to have in that account because it's down. It's been down for months. It's been down and down and down. This is what it is. Now it's gonna rebound, it's gonna come back and stuff like that. But if I was just trying to run my money up, I would be investing in myself. That's the whole point of this video, is just to say that invest in yourself, create a business, invest in your education, invest in a license, a skill set, something like that. Invest in something outside of just stocks all the time. I still do that too. I am not saying don't invest in stocks. And if you're not going to do anything else, then put your money in your stocks then. Okay, go put your money in your stocks, or buy a house, get something of value, right? But don't just sit around and wait on stocks to save you, because it's not. It's just, unless you're actively investing, aggressively investing, reading up on things, learning things, that kind of stuff or whatever. But you can be doing hair or nails or or anything, plumbing, anything. You can do anything and make some extra money, man. So anyway, right now you're watching Casino is the Name. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and we are out. Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You're watching Casino is the Name, and if you wanted to know how I started my trucking business, I have an ebook called Big Shot, Hot Shot Volume 1, Own Your Trucking Authority. It's a great book, 5-star reviews. The link will be in the description below. Go get that. Yeah.
Beat me up, Scotty. Beat me up, Scotty.
Me and her together, we just count it up. Money on my mind, I can't get enough. Don't play with my money, you don't want no beef. Cause I come from the bottom, I come from the street. When she first saw me, she said, who is that? When a man saw me, he called me a threat. I'm the one that really live with a rap. They ain't never did it, they ain't really trap.
You say you want to be successful, but what's stopping you? Can't nothing stop you from being successful except for you. You standing in your own way. I came from the bottom. I ain't know nothing but the grind. You can't tell me nothing about that. I caught the bus at Basin Street Projects in Tallahassee, Florida. You hear me? I used to think $1 million would last me my whole life. I'd have made that and spent that. $1 million ain't enough. There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the Name.